All right, everyone. Here we are with ticker symbol CRNT, Ceragon Networks. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And I just want to quickly announce to everyone that I have a new ticker symbol that you don't want to miss. I'm going to talk about it towards the end of this video that you want to add to your watch list. It had consolidated. It broke out of that consolidation. It's having a slight pullback, which is looking pretty healthy. And you want to keep this one on your radar moving forward. There's a lot of potential. They're growing and expanding, especially internationally, which is a good sign. Their market cap, their revenue can grow. And then by doing so, their stock price should grow with it. So stay tuned till the end for more information on it. So guys, Ceragon Networks. I talked about this a few days ago. It was a big hype going on due to the fact some news that things were going to be pretty good, right? A good outlook for this company in the 5G sector. And ARK Invest took a large position. Then they basically doubled up on it. And then they took another position just yesterday. So I was watching carefully how things were going with this one because I had stated to everyone, hey guys, we should expect a pullback. This is a very speculative one, and I want to see how ARK Invest starts to react to it. So yesterday, we're going to look over everything and how their positions have changed, but this stock turned into being one of the top stocks and then turning into the number one ranked stock in this ETF. We're going to see it. We're going to see every single moment up till today. And yesterday they took a position as it was falling. I found it very interesting. Super interesting. Because as it was falling, that's a good sign from ARK Invest that they're buying more shares. They see room for growth. They're not too worried about the fall. But today, I saw something. That's why I didn't jump on the video yesterday. And it's funny because I didn't have enough time to do it anyways. But I was like, you know what? Let's watch this closely. I wanted to watch it throughout the week. Well, I have to do this video and share this information with you guys because this is pretty urgent. I want everybody to be aware of it. And I'm not trying to say there's no potential here. And I'm not trying to say because ARK Invest makes these moves or decisions, it should reflect or affect the way you look at it or reflect what the company's worth really is or what this really was. Everything that we're seeing here. What was this, right? So I want every single investor to be very cautious of this stock moving forward. And I will do an update if anything changes in adding shares or deducting shares from this ETF on this stock from ARK Invest. But I found it very interesting. Now, let's go ahead and look here what's going on. So, the first thing I want to point out is 451 is probably one of the most important support levels. And the second most important right now based off the chart is $5. We're sitting at 520. The first resistance level that's pretty important is up here at 570. And then it goes all the way up to the top, which was 690. So I want every single investor to write these numbers down, keep them in mind for the next coming days and weeks. What we really want to look for here is consolidation. All right. We don't want to see this just run up or keep running down like this. We want to look for some consolidation and cooling off so that the next hype or catalyst and good news pushes this up to newer highs, right? And that would be a healthy, steady holding itself up. And we'll look at the chart from a different perspective. But I had stated it was looking speculative. We needed to see how ARK Invest reacted. And it looked great until today. So let's see here. The 19th. The 19th was back on Tuesday. This is when I talked about this stock. It's looking speculative. Pay close attention to it. It might pull back because it's ran up. And that's when we saw this run up like this and it reached these highs on the 19th. But I wanted every single investor to be aware of this because it was good news. ARK Invest took a big position and this moved up to number one on the list. It was looking like it was great news. So we had 1,020,699 shares showing and reflecting here for ARK Invest. That's the 19th. Well, when we go to the 20th, it becomes the second place, but because the stock started to fall, it lost some market value, so it became number 2, okay? But they loaded up on shares. They went up about 80,000, basically 90,000 shares. 89,000, 90,000 shares, give or take. They went up all the way to 1,109,333 shares. Still at 6 million in market value. It went down a little bit, but holding itself up pretty well within the market value and the shares. Well, that looked great. I'm glad I didn't do the video yesterday, because this could have been like something that would tell investors, oh my gosh, ARK Invest is buying as it's going down. Invest for Tomorrow found this information. This is what we were waiting for. And I was like, I need to see this throughout the whole week, because this is a very speculative play by the looks of it. It's a penny stock still. It's too fresh. And it jumped up way too fast. And it's pulling back just as fast. Well, here we are with the 21st. Ceragon Networks has now went from first place, second, third, back to where we're at here now at fourth. Look how many shares. Look at the market value. Look at how many shares. The only thing I can think of is two things. They sold shares, or they rebalanced Ceragon Networks and they put some of these shares somewhere else, which they've done that before with Nano Dimensions because they have it in 2 ETFs. But that was Nano Dimensions. I don't think that's the case here with CRNT. If anybody can find that information, I would appreciate it. But I looked through the ETFs. I looked through the information. I only see it here as of right now. That's a big change. They literally went down half of their position. And their market value went down even faster. So they lost almost a third of market value, and then they sold, right, half of them. I think that this right here is showing signs that things are going in the other direction, and ARK Invest is probably trying to wait and see. There's two ways to look at this. If things are cooling off, or if things are getting really bad and it's going down, this is going to be shaved off. This position will be shaved off by tomorrow. If this position stays the same, or shaves off a couple thousand and they stay around 500,000 shares, that's something to pay close attention to, because what they've decided is, okay, we averaged up here. It didn't make sense. We averaged up here. It didn't make sense. So they averaged up, right, on the way up. They averaged up on the way down. They probably got in a little bit earlier. And now they're like, you know what? Let's not buy shares. If they don't sell too many in the next following days or ending the week, that may be a sign of some rebalancing, and they're trying to find another entry, or they're trying to see if it's time to average up again, or wait for this to continue to work its way down so they can average up at those points. Because anything above, these lows of $3 or even here at $4, it's going to make them average up. So they're trying to do this strategically. That's one way to look at it. The other way is that they take care of all those shares that they have left, which is like 500,000 plus, right? Right here. Almost 600,000, 568,289, and that they sell like 50% of this, or like 30% of this. Like hundreds of thousands of shares of this gets shaved off, and they do it slowly. That's going to be a sign that they're getting out of this. Like they're not going to stick around on it. I need to let every single investor know, because, we were all excited. You want to keep this on your watch list, keep it on your radar. A lot of people were hyped about this 5G stock. It's running up, so much potential. This is so cheap right now. But I don't know how much you value ARK Invest's movement. It's not the only way I look at things, but ARK Invest's opinion or approach, and even Vanguard, how they react to certain things, makes me question then what's going on the chart, what's going on with the company, and why are they deciding that? Because remember, it's a group of analysts making these decisions. It's not just, one person. I'm just one investor. You're just one investor, right? You might have a group, you might have friends, different people to brainstorm with, but it's not the same as collectively a group of analysts that are experts at this, and they do this for ARK Invest overall, and they're handling millions of dollars, right? And millions of shares, that when they make these decisions, I respect them. I'm not saying that I agree with all of them, but I respect them. So this is something to watch carefully, and I wanted to make every single investor aware. I definitely stated, hey guys, add this to your watch list. Keep it on your radar. It's a speculative one. We need to watch it closely. We need to see how ARK Invest reacts. And here we are seeing it. I wanted to see if they loaded up. They certainly did, but they didn't load up enough because they unloaded right after they started loading up. That right there is a sign that there's something to be mindful of and watch closely here. Because while we think this is a discount, this might not be the end of this downfall. Now, if they were rebalancing, we're going to know because they're going to add more shares. Or they were trying to see if there's a better discount so they don't average up too quickly. They were trying to take some profits from this run, and they think things are going to cool off a little bit, and then they're going to come back in. We need to see, because if they hold some position, because as you can see, this is a pretty small ETF. There's a few, in the millions here, but everything else is in the 100,000s or below. So if they hold some position in Ceragon networks, it's not too bad as we think. They're just playing this one out strategically, So they're trying to figure out what's going to be the best moment. They were just probably trying to rebalance their sheet here, their ETF, or they're actually, trying to take the gains for now, and they're going to play it out later and figure out what they're going to do next. But if that 500,000 gets shaved off almost completely or most of it, that's something to be aware of. So I hope you guys find this video helpful and informative. It gives you better insight on what's going on here on the chart overall, because it's not just individual investors. It's also ARK Invest, contributing 500,000 of their shares, being sold. And when you look at volume, believe it or not, that's almost right there a good amount of percentage, like 5% of the stocks traded today. But very interesting, very, very interesting in my opinion, and we need to watch this closely. Stay tuned till the end, because I have a new ticker symbol you definitely want to add to your watch list. If you're a first-time viewer and investor and you came across this channel and you found it helpful and informative, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Stay tuned. So for everyone that has stayed to this point in the video, the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys is one I've been watching for some time, but it was hanging out around the same area for almost a month or maybe even longer. And I was just trying to see, because things were looking kind of quiet, but analysis ratings were being upgraded in the last few months and weeks leading up to this point, and I wasn't seeing much movement, but they were stating that their upgrades, are forecasts up in like 6 months from now, a year from now. And this ticker symbol, you've probably heard about it before. I highly suggest doing more research on it and doing your due diligence. But the ticker symbol is ZNGA, Zynga Inc. I don't know if you guys have heard about it before, but it was hanging around the same area. You could see some consolidation here within the $9 mark. And then also a little bit before that, it was around that area and it fell. So I was watching it. I was trying to see, are these upgrades really true? Are these forecasts possible? And now we're seeing it actually running up. So this is definitely one you want to add to your watch list, and especially since it broke out of this consolidation here. And instead of going in the opposite direction like we saw previously when it ran up to the $9 mark and it pulled back, it actually ran up to the $9 mark. It held pretty well, and it ran up now to highs here of about $11. Now, $11 is actually what analysis rating target price targets are actually. They're rating it to be on the low end, $11, the mid end around 12 and some change, and the high end that I've seen, unless anybody upgrades higher than that, so far is anywhere between $14 to $15. Now, the fact that it ran up and it's pulling back, this is probably a good time to watch this and keep it on your radar moving forward, because it still has room to grow. Now, when I see those numbers of 11 plus, you could see the history of the chart. It was growing its way up, and it reached highs here of about $11.15. So anything above $11 are new highs, and they're going to be new resistance levels to be broken through. This is definitely one to have on your watch list moving forward. I've seen a lot of good things about it, and I definitely recommend doing your research and due diligence to then make a rational decision. But you want this one on your radar, especially now that I saw the consolidation actually get broken through. That means that this has momentum to possibly continue to run. Now, the reason why this broke through recently is because of good news. I mean, you're going to see articles pop up. They made it into India, I believe, and so forth. So they're expanding. But this company has a lot of potential moving forward. They dominate in their sector of internet software services, of games and so forth. And also, they're looking to expand internationally, which is going to be growth. And when a company's growing, its stock share should probably grow as well, and market capitalization over time. So very interesting. I definitely wanted to share this with you guys because I was watching it closely. It dipped. It started to run up. We were watching the consolidation. It looked like it was going down here at the beginning of January, back down to $8 and some change. But no, it came back, and it actually broke out of that area, those resistance levels up here at the high $9 mark and beginning $10 mark, and hit 11, and now it's pulling back. So you definitely want to watch this one closely moving forward. As always, if you found the video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share it with your friends and community. Don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. And as always, thank you so much, and let's make some money.